Did you just open a can of founder mode?
You didn't capture it in audio, I think.
I think I got it.
I completely forgot that we're about to record, which is why I'm still wearing my running
Please,
gear.
can you run a monologue while I close the door? 1 second.
Okay, I just went for a run. It was very nice. And then I forgot all about recording podcast. I was about to take a shower. And then you sent me a message. And I was like, shoot. And my wife was in my office because
Oh no.
the 1-year-old is spending his first nap in daycare today. And he's sleeping right now.
Oh,
And it's so weird.
exciting.
And we're all like productive doing stuff at home, training, working.
All the things that you dreamt about doing for
I guess I should have
years.
been suspicious when she cleaned my office yesterday.
Yeah.
And then today she moved in, I guess.
So you get a cupboard now somewhere in the house for your
You
audio
got what?
booth. A cupboard?
Yeah, I should. Actually, maybe I'll start with this. I've been looking at podcast studios
Oh,
because
for the real podcast.
not even for the real podcast, for my own podcast. I want to
Is
do
that
more
this
podcast.
one?
The other, my solo podcast.
Yeah. Oh, so you have 3 now?
Yeah, didn't you see my announcement?
No, I didn't. Let me find it.
I want to do a solo podcast as well because I want to do
Right,
as
of
much
course.
podcasting as I can this year. I just want to record stuff and do a bunch of content, and I don't want to like feel like, oh, I can't record a podcast until Thursday when I'm recording a podcast with Mikkel. If I want to record a podcast on Monday, and just record. And
So
there
you
was
need
like
5 podcasts, so you have one for each day of the week.
for years, yeah. This is normal, right?
Monday?
Oh, people have this, right?
Yeah, I think so.
For years I've wanted a podcast that was just focused around my interests and not like one of my interests. And I don't know anyone with like the same overlap as I have, so it sort of has to be a solo podcast and with guests.
So what
It's
is it?
kinda-
Is it like business and web development and what else? What are your interests?
Yeah, what are your interests? It's like my mother-in-law when I first met her. What are your intentions with my daughter?
Oh,
What are your what are your
intense.
intentions with your so it's stuff like business for sure. And I've always had this, when I thought about that specific podcast, I've always thought like, how can I do a podcast where I can like interview Jason Cohen about business, but interview my friend Nikolai Estrup Madsen about digital nomading and like world schooling and stuff like that, more like lifestyle, family stuff. Like, how can that fit into the same podcast? And the only way it really can is like if it's just whatever I'm interested in. So it could be like right now I'm working out more, so maybe I want to talk to someone about that. But and actually Nikolai is going to be my first guest because he already agreed. Even though he's tweeting about how busy he is because they have the kids at home and they're like 2 founders with 2 kids at home. So it's like takes some planning. Plus they travel the world. So yeah, I want to talk to him and about all the stuff that he's interested in, where we have an overlap. So it's basically just want to have like do like my my Venn diagram with all these different people.
nice. So it's like you're Tim Ferriss now,
Yeah, I'm Tim Ferriss.
or like
That's
what's
how I'm
his
going to
face?
introduce myself
Yeah.
to people. It's like do you know Tim Ferriss? I'm kind of
Yeah,
like him,
yeah, kind of like.
just more normal.
I work somewhere around 4 hours a week. Don't make
Yeah.
that much money, but I keep it to 4 hours.
Yeah.
I think I got the gist of that book.
Yeah, definitely sounds like you read it.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so I was thinking about this podcast studio thing, and turns out you could just rent a podcast studio.
There's one in Sorø.
There's not one in Sorø. but there's a lot in Copenhagen, like
Yeah,
several
I
pretty good
imagine.
ones.
Yeah.
And like one of the ones I looked at was, the one Ludwig's podcast
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
that we talked about. He's getting really popular, but apparently he started like a whole podcast business. And I haven't
Wow.
talked to him yet, but on his website it says like for 1,500 kroner, which is like $200 or whatever, you could rent his studio in Copenhagen with video and microphones and everything,
Yeah.
and they edited the podcast for you afterwards for 2 hours for like
Oh,
$200.
wow.
Like how
How
insane is
does that
that?
check out?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm wondering if it's like if the website hasn't been updated since his podcast took off.
Or he has like a really cheap guy doing the edits.
Yeah, but even if you just got the raw
Probably that.
files, like
Yeah.
just the fact that you
Still.
can like go somewhere where it's like really nice looking, and there's microphones and like 2 or 3 cameras filming from different angles. It'd be
Yeah.
pretty stupid if they all film from the same angle. And
It's just the host. Who are we kidding? We know who this is about.
that's why it's called the Peter Zoom Show.
Yeah.
But even there was another one where it's like it seemed like slightly more like commercialized or like a bit more like a proper business, where they had like a really fancy studio where you could change the color of the studio because it had like curtains on the walls, and then they had like these spotlights or like LED lights
wow.
at the
So,
bottom, so it's
yeah.
kind of changed the colors. That was more expensive. That was like 2 or 3,000 kroner. But it was more like there would be someone sitting there during the podcast and changing the cameras like live.
Oh, okay. So you got a studio engineer-ish.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously like that's expensive if it's just me like doing it every week or whatever. But I thought about it, like imagine if there's something like someone that's sort of like high profile that you want to have a conversation with. Like if you can sort of be where they are and you can just like invite them to a really nice looking studio, they get like an
Yeah.
interview with like great cameras and everything, like it feels like a very good hack to like, um hang out with or like meet people you want to get to know,
Yeah, definitely.
versus like buying lunch or something. Like buy them a podcast interview.
So can we do it at your place? Can I just
Yeah.
maybe we can make lunch before I Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
anyways,
it's
I was looking at
definitely
that.
a professional look to have a whole studio set up. So you're
But
gonna
then
are you gonna bulk them, or would you just do one episode and then rent it again
right
for
now
the
I'm just
next
really
episode?
curious to right now I'm just curious to try the experience.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it got me thinking like maybe I could build a podcast studio somewhere
Oh
and
no.
just like
Oh
make a
no.
business out of it.
Do you want to have a podcast studio?
Did I tell you my Nicholas idea for our podcast, the studio?
Yeah, the
Doing
van.
like a caravan,
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
like a trailer studio. That would be
You should
sick.
just move into the van, grow your hair out, buy some Hawaiian shirts,
Get divorced.
get divorced, buy an electric guitar that's way too expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, that's sort of that's what I've been googling.
Nice.
What
Nice.
have you been googling?
I have been googling. I don't know, man. I've been I've been recording video, which is like that's so fun. This is my new interest. I
Yeah,
just
me too.
I've been thinking about it for years now, and finally I decided to just soldier ahead. I did that this week as well, and this week was video number 2, so I'm sticking to a video a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the video looked really it was high production value. We
Thank
saw
you.
more of your beautiful body.
Yeah, and you do now as well.
Yeah.
I moved my camera around, and I finally put some pictures on the walls and bought a YouTuber plant. So
Yeah.
so it looks like a real YouTuber. But yeah, it's just small things that do a lot, I think. And then for the editing, I'm just trying out all the things right now. I don't really know what my tastes are, I think that's what I came to the realization of, that I don't know how I want it to look. So now I'm just like trying to see what can I do. So
Yeah.
I'm just like putting text in and then doing some weird effects and everything, because like I want to try it out and see how it feels.
Yeah. Now you need to monologue for like 30 seconds because
All
I
right.
need to tell my wife that the baby woke up in daycare.
All right. I'll take it from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess so far I've done two videos, which both have been about my Mac apps, which are both like small utility style apps that run in your status bar, and somehow that's been the common thing for all my apps, is that they run in the background and do just one sort of tiny little thing, and that's what they do. And I've I've done a video for two of my four apps that I'm currently running and maintaining, and the plan is to do the two other ones and then figure out what else I want to do videos about.
Yeah.
So I guess next week is going to be flickering, and then it'll end with sprinkles.
Yeah. So you have still have time to create more apps. You can create videos about it.
Oh yeah, I can keep it running. Yeah, I just need more apps. That's where Cursor is godsend.
Feed the videos to ChatGPT.
But like
And
it's addicting, the whole YouTube thing. Like just watching the stats and people finding it, and like you can see where they like where they come from, and like a huge percentage comes from just like recommendations, which is wild to me.
really, yeah.
Like yeah,
Crazy.
it's like
Yeah. Then imagine being on
85%.
OnlyFans and you're also making money.
Yeah, yeah. I think I might do the next one shirtless, just to sort of dip my toes in.
Yeah.
How does this feel? That's a niche that I can probably have for myself, like doing Mac
Buy me a
apps,
coffee link.
Mac app stories, but shirtless with a feet cam as well. I think we found the niche. Yeah,
Anyways,
but that's
that's
like
awesome.
still the goal is to just make a video every week. And as far like as long as that goes, then it's going great. And also like people post comments, and like it's really like things are cooking on YouTube. I gotta say, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I mean, for several years, I feel like, at least like since the whole like Elon Musk thing on X started, um, whenever I've like talked to Adam about like, at some point people were like literally wondering if it would go away,
Oh
and
yeah,
Adam was always like, I don't think it'll ever go away, but if for some reason it goes away, I think I'm just gonna do YouTube and nothing else. He's always
yeah,
been like very bullish on YouTube. It's
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
incredible
yeah. It is
place.
kind of a wild place. Like the only thing that I'm slightly hesitant about is like it's getting closer that I can switch on the monetize deal, and that means that everyone's gonna watch ads all the time, or are they already? Because I have a YouTube subscription, so I don't see the ads ever. That's probably half the reason why I like YouTube so much, is that it's a completely ad free experience. But
Yeah.
with ads, it's like completely different.
I don't
But
think
I
I
don't know.
see ads when I watch in Brave. I think it just
Oh,
blocks it
there might
out.
be something there.
But
Still,
on my
like
phone, I do because I don't pay for it, which I probably should. Because I use it. Like, I watch YouTube almost every day when I do the kitchen and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know if they even like if they serve ads when on videos on channels like mine where they aren't monetized. So sort of I pay for the hosting by them showing ads, and I'm not getting anything for it. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah. Anyway, that's fun too. And then I'm getting back to Nitro Kit. Still splitting
Well,
up the.
is like,
Sorry?
is there like like, what's the purpose with the YouTube videos? Is just because it's fun, or is to like try to like just get better at it, or like grow an audience, or a mix, or
It is because it's fun. Like at some point, like there's also a benefit of people like getting to see my work, I guess, or maybe eventually, I don't know, hiring me at some point down the line. But that's like a far-fetched side benefit. Um, but at some point in my life, I guess, I realized that what is it really that I actually want? Like, just questioning, why do you do all this, Mikkel? Why, what's
Big
going
question,
on?
yeah.
And I came to, because I've always, like, in my early youth, like my early 20s, I played a lot in bands and loved to play concerts, and that was like the it's fun to be in the practice rehearsal room, I guess, but it's way more fun to play the concerts. And then I did stand up for what, 6 7 years, and it was just like even more people looking at me, which is like a tingly feeling in my stomach. And then being on Twitter is always like the treat is getting to share my work and having people react to it. And I think this is the same. It's just like I came to the realization that whatever I do is always like the entertainer part of it is what gets me going. So I think I'm just addicted to that part. So in
Yeah.
that sense, YouTube is perfect.
Yeah, I definitely relate to that.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
yeah.
you have some inherent marketing built in if you like hearing yourself talk.
Yeah, yeah. Also, kind of insufferable, maybe, possibly, but still, someone has to do it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know, but that's really the reason why I made my old comedy podcast, why I made this podcast. I just like to share my perspective and stories and everything, and then somehow some people like to also listen to it, and that's a great joy to me. But that's what I came to in the question of what do I really even want with this whole career and life. And I'm sort of slightly trying to steer in a direction where that's possible still. There were some years where I had like no uh that I produced no content, I guess. It's a horrible way to say it, but it was like that. And that felt sort of not like the right way to do it. So I had to find my way back to creating and sharing, I guess. And yeah, this year is just hopefully more of that, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's the point of it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Mikkel is a little uh, fancy guy who likes people looking at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm back to Nitro Kid for like regular work. I'm still trying to split the websites, and I did, and I'm sort of getting to a place where I know what I want the premium subscription to be, and I think I'll do like an early bird opening fairly soon, where the immediate benefit is going to be like access to the Discord, I guess, and maybe a few examples. But in the end, I think it'll have to be a starter template kit. And then how much that contains is sort of still an open question. Like, it does have a, like, in the beginning I thought of it as more like an application template, similar to Catalyst, I guess, where it's mainly like the looks of it, the like hierarchical structure, I guess. But I think it needs users, maybe integration with Stripe, possibly. It's like, yeah, you can always extend it, but how far do you want to go? Yeah, I don't know. So that's still up in the air, but it's going to be a starter kit too, and good thing that Polar has support for something like it built in, so you can add like access to a private GitHub repo for only subscribers. He's back. Is he back? He's back.
Yes.
Great. Don't know if you caught it all, but Polar has built-in support for giving subscribers access to a private GitHub repo. So that's how I plan to do it. And they also have support for Discord integration, I guess. And yeah, so that's how it's gonna start.
And you get to say that your startup is your kid.
yeah, that's right. I have 4 kids.
Bad. I'm sorry.
4 kids, 3 of them with a D.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I guess so. I'm gonna have to just make a bunch of jokes. You're right. I should get on that immediately. start brainstorming all the bad jokes. I mean, if that isn't what being a dad is, then I don't know. Yeah, so that's the state of a natural kid. I also thought of another thing that I wanted to be premium was to integrate with common libraries. So there's a pagination gem that most people use, and having just like a copy paste solution or click to install or whatever for things like that, and then they would look nice with NitroKit. I think that's a good thing to put in premium as well. It feels like sort of, I don't know if honest is the right word, but it feels like genuine or honest or whatever the right English word is, to have like all the building blocks are free and free to use. And then there's some premium parts, but they're all built using the same building blocks. So it's just like you're just buying the convenience of someone having built it out, but you can still like, there's no, yeah, that's my thinking.
You know, for Catalyst, we have that page with like the demos on it.
Yeah.
That's basically the Catalyst website. And
it's like a concert tracker thing.
No, but we have like when you go just to the Catalyst website, there's like sort of like a grid with like some things built with Catalyst. And people keep emailing asking if they can get the source for the website.
Oh.
Because they like the style of it. It's
fun.
just a kind of, they don't do that for the Tailwind UI website. You know, it's a kind of weird ask in my opinion. But people just want it all. They just want all the examples you put together, everything you build. They just want. Yeah,
probably. Yeah, I'm sort of thinking that too while I'm building the website. I just today posted a video of like an account, top navigation account sort of drop down. Click the face and you get a link to settings or whatever. And I thought like this is a great example to just have people copy paste and put it in there. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna build a bunch of that, I think. Yes, that's the plan.
That's great.
Yeah, hopefully someone is gonna buy it.
Do you have an early access list ready?
Yeah, I have a mail thing, but there's not too many people on it.
Okay.
But like it's good topics. It's a good topic for the YouTube videos as well. Like building things with NitroKit. Introduction to Nitro Boobadoop. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it all in the end arrives at the same destination, which is Mikkel having people witnessing him. Making stuff,
acknowledging
and clapping
you.
their small hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Hopefully making some money on the way as well.
Yeah.
Have you been building something this last week?
Have I been building something? I recorded a video.
That's the year in review video. I should keep a closer look at on your Twitter profile. I feel like
you could follow me on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
You can be my subscriber number 31 or something.
That's exactly what I want it to be.
And yeah, I want to get started with more like video stuff and podcast stuff this year. And it's just so easy to feel like you can't start because you don't have the YouTuber planned, or I have this like ugly
Oh, yeah.
wardrobe behind me or whatever. And if we turned the camera around, it'd be even worse, I promise. And so there's all these like reasons not to do it, but then I was like, my goal was basically just to just record something, doesn't even matter what it is, and just use the old iPhone as the camera, and the lamp that's already on my table. And I actually have had people ask like what camera I use when I do these videos, but it's just the iPhone. It's so good, when you use that, and it's so easy. Just put it on a tripod and it automatically connects and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I was like, what's an easy video to do? Maybe I could just like go over the year in review blog post that I already wrote. So basically just me talking about the same thing that I already talked about, just sort of repurposing that content and maybe add a few more details here and there. So yeah, the only purpose was just to sort of get started. It's not a very good video, or it's like, I'm not super proud about it or anything. But it got me started. And yeah, I think the next thing I'm going to do is going to be like a long form interview, probably with Nikolai, if we can find a day soon. So that's
and
what
then
I'm
record it in
excited about.
Ludwig's studio. And then
Someone's
you have the video.
studio at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before
that
he
sounds fun.
realizes it's too cheap.
Like, I've spent years buying gear without doing video, so I promise you that's not the thing that you're missing. It's not what's going to do it.
Yeah. But I haven't really been building much. I still have had a lot of work related to like the Tailwind team retreat next week.
The
Just
Miami
getting everything
trip.
ready. Yeah, so I did a fun thing with I'm sort of getting really into ChatGPT projects now,
Oh, yeah.
because I'm doing it for my my workout stuff. It's going really well with that. Like, I love having it as my workout coach. It that's what I did today. Like, it gave me like how many intervals I had to run and for how long,
nice.
and then my upper body workout, and I just sort of like tell it like what weights I have and what kettlebell I have, and it just, and basically based on how I did last time, it makes adjustments. And yeah, so I've been doing it like 5 times or something, 6 times maybe, 5 or 6
Did you
times
see
now.
they added timers, like tasks to it?
Yeah,
So you can tell it
I've
to,
been
like, remind me at X time.
yeah, I've been thinking about ways to use that as well. Um, but I
I
did
wonder if
do
we can do, like, every morning at 9, page me,
wake me
beep
up,
me, and tell me to get started,
tell my kids to go to daycare.
get my lazy ass out of bed. I mean, you are at that point, but still. Could
Yeah,
have used
that's
that
gonna
when
be
I was 24.
when you have the Tesla robot. Get the kids ready for school,
Yeah.
and they can just ask it questions about black holes and stuff while it makes the breakfast ready. And
Where is Dad? What does Dad do?
maybe we could get one with my voice.
When is Dad coming back? Are you my dad?
You remember I told you about black holes? But yeah, no, I did it. I created a new project today. It was an idea I had when I went running, because I always like have ideas when I go for walks and runs and stuff, and I write them down in notes, but I never really remember to come back to them, and they can
Oh,
also sometimes be hard to find. So I created a ChatGPT project, and my instructions were something like, "You're my ideas assistant." And I don't want you to give me feedback or tell me if the ideas are good or bad or anything like that. I don't want you to summarize anything. I just want you to take notes whenever I give you an idea. And
so that's
uh, the,
basically what texted it.
yeah, kind of, yeah. But then I said, well, I told it could give me like an encouraging like message after
Oh,
I say something encouraging when I give it to you. And
happy
then I
texted
said, yeah. And then I said, there's one exception. If you see a pattern in some of the ideas, or if I give you an idea that is similar to an idea I gave you in the past, or something like that. You can tell me if you see stuff like that. I think I also told it if there's something like obviously missing from the idea, it could also like ask me like a clarifying question when it's like capturing it. And then I created 2 chats, one where it's my like content ideas assistant, and one where it's business ideas. And then we'll see how it goes. So far, I've only shared one idea with it so far, but my hope is that I can like come back and like basically query for ideas. Like I'm ready to like do a video, like like, and then hopefully it can like help me like find a good idea for that video.
That's a really good idea.
Should write that down.
So you should put it in your meta storage. Not that
I'm
meta.
doing the charge one AirPod at a time now. We'll see if it works.
Oh, okay. I really caught you off guard today.
I just got the warning.
Do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. I was also considering it as like a project manager for myself, to have it like ask it like every morning. I'll say checking in, and you'll give me an overview of, I guess, like whatever. I saw Fabricio from Typefully. He posted an image of a thing that he had built, which was sort of like a hacked together solution that gave him and sent him an email every day with an overview of what he did yesterday, what he had to do, what was on the calendar and everything. And that looked really nice.
Yeah, I saw that. I feel like I've tried stuff like that in the past, but it never really like, it's not something I already do. So it's like, it's kind of like a new thing, like where I find it really helpful if I can replace something I'm already doing, just do it in an easier way. That's where I tend to have most success with these sorts of workflows.
Yeah. So how do I start planning? Like,
but yeah, I think it could be good to just
aware of how to
have
plan.
it ask you,
Yeah,
query you.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe I should just set a reminder every day. Plan shit, dumbass.
Like you could
like,
try my system, which is just like write down the overall priorities on Sunday or Monday, and then look at that before you make your daily to-do list every day. Every day I make a to-do list in Obsidian like now instead of Reflect. And the first thing I do is I look at my priorities for the week, and I look at my Todoist app where I have like tasks basically, and then I just add them. And I think the process of like taking tasks, even though you've already written them down, and then typing them out again, just sort of like does something important that I can't explain, but it does something.
And then maybe optional step, actually doing the things that you wrote down.
Yeah, that's
is that part of it? I'm hoping to
you get what you want,
like
in the end.
Yeah. I was putting off having anything like an early bird or like a pre-sale or something like that for NitroKit, because I didn't want, I've talked about this before, but I didn't want the treat before I did the work, I guess. But I think I have to do it fairly soon. Mm-hmm. Also, just like to begin shoving things in Premium.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the plan. I hope to be ready like February.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Speaking of priorities, I actually did write down this week that I wanted to get back into Social Card Creator. I still don't know if I'm gonna end up having time for it, but I want to just make like the tiniest little change I can to like feel like I did something on it. Not because I feel obligated, just because I feel like it feels unfinished in my head, because it only really works for like kind of blog post style content right now, the way the design is.
Yeah.
and I want to basically have like a flag or something that it like, or something like where if you don't include like author information, it changes the design slightly to just make it work more for like if you had like an about page or even just a home page or something like that.
Yeah.
Just think that would make it more make it feel more finished, even though it's very simple, but at least it would feel finished.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. Because
And I think I could do that with like an if statement.
yeah, but the user would have to supply the type in URL param, I guess.
But basically, like if you have like your about page, you just wouldn't include the string with the like author name and author avatar.
Right. So it's like,
and then we would just change the design if those
image.
are missing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think I could probably get it done in like half an hour. So, but it's more about like, now it's been like a month since I even like ran the project locally.
Oh yeah.
So there's like a mental, and that's the problem that happens, is like there's like a mental like hurdle to even make the tiniest change just because you haven't touched it for so long.
Yeah.
And it only gets worse. So like if I could just make like a little thing and ship that, I would feel really good, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I know that feeling. But also sometimes it's like fine to just let it run for ages. If it runs, it runs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But yeah, for example, like I know like Ian Landsman bought it as the first person, which was awesome. But he said
It's very
that
Godfather of him.
very Godfather behavior, and now I owe him for life, you know. No, but so
That's the deal. That's the deal.
But I know he wanted to use it potentially for the new Userscape website that he was working on. But I also know he can't use it before it has better support for like just pages that aren't like, you know, blog post style or articles.
Yeah.
So, and it'd be awesome if he used it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big name to put on the site. A great name to have. Yeah. I
have another idea.
Do you
Maybe
feel
I'll
like
tease
working
it.
on it? Do you want to?
I
Or
want
is
to
it
make that
just
change.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to make that change because it just doesn't feel done, which is annoying.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if I want to do much more on it right now. But I sort of have like another idea that I had a long time ago that they sort of popped up again these last few days. And maybe I'll tease it a little bit just because I'm actually like interested in talking to people about it. And so basically the idea, I want to say everything about it, but it's basically would be a way to like help with like, you know, like SaaS, if you have a lot of SaaS subscriptions, not even a lot, but like one thing that I find annoying in my own company is every time I sign up for a new thing, I have another bookkeeping task on my to-do list, and it's annoying. And I also just have some like mental overhead of like, there's a new thing I'm paying for that maybe I need to cancel at some point, or my credit card is going to expire. There's just like, I just added more to my plate by having this subscription available. And that's kind of annoying. And then the other thing is like, I don't know if it's really a problem at Tailwind Labs, but I could see it there as well as like, I'm conscious about the fact that if I want to like purchase subscriptions and stuff, I'm like adding some extra friction or to the company overall. And I think there's a feeling right now, I know there's a feeling right now that we don't have no idea what we're paying for stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Feel it.
So like literally Adam told me like if I could like look into our credit card statements because we have no idea what we're paying for. And yeah, so I have an idea for something that could solve that potentially, or make that experience much better and decrease the amount of bookkeeping you need to do. My first idea was like more of almost like a legal idea. Like kind of like imagine like a merchant of record, but like more like a software reseller.
Oh.
Where you're basically buying everything through a single reseller, so you sort of have like one bill every week.
Okay.
But
so
I
there's
don't
just
think
like
like
one supplier, and you
yeah,
buy
but
some sort of usage meter.
That's how big companies buy software, you know.
All right.
And but it'd be awesome if it was also available for smaller companies. But so basically, I've had that idea for a long time, but it's like it's a big idea, and it's also like it's the kind of idea where it's like it's not really a category right now for small companies. So you're sort of inventing a whole new workflow, or it's just hard to like find customers for something that they're not already looking for.
And you should charge a lot, I guess, for just the service, because you're getting all the hassle, like canceling subscriptions, people not paying. Like you get all of the things that that everyone hates about paying for things. That's your responsibility now for not one, but like 1,000 companies, hopefully, but still.
I mean, I definitely have some ideas for like how it could actually work and how it could be possible. I think there could even be like some benefits to using this service. That's just like maybe you can get like better prices if you're like 100 companies buying a SaaS subscription at the same time. Or
do you know my bank actually had some startup sort of things, and someone invented a service where you could just cancel any subscription directly from your like mobile banking app.
Yeah.
And that's in there, so people can just like click cancel on things. And how it works from the company side is that you get an email from like in like lawyer speech, where it just says like, this email wants to cancel the subscription, tell me when it's done. And I've had a bunch of those at Tenor, and it's always sort of a hassle. But I guess legally probably it works out, right? So it's a nice experience for the user. But like it's better than what you hear about all those what's it called when you like disagree on a transaction in your bank.
A chargeback or a dispute.
Dispute, yeah, that's right. That doesn't happen too much, is my feeling, in Denmark, but globally I think it's a problem. So anyway, like something like the lawyer email is at least better than just like people grabbing their money back and saying,
we get a lot of emails from companies trying to cancel their Tailwind UI subscription. Which is funny because it's not a subscription. But
okay, now I get it.
But anyways, for that idea, like I've kind of like I try to like put on my product hat and think about like if I wasn't gonna do like if I wasn't gonna solve it in like a legal way where I'm like legally like reselling software. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay,
my camera just went out.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe we need to restart.
We're being intercepted. And then, but so I have like some product ideas for a way simpler thing that could still help some of these same issues, I think. So, if there's anyone that's like kind of like, if this is like resonating with someone, I'd love to like just ask a few questions. I actually had an idea. This is the final idea. I thought about like, now that I have this idea.
Or just this episode.
for the next 10 minutes.
Endgame idea. Here it is.
Yeah. This is the big idea.
This is the one.
Yep. No pressure. If
Notion, but for dogs. Okay. Come again. Sorry.
Miguel.
I'll stop.
If I did a podcast episode where I shared my idea with the listeners, and then I did like some calls with people that had the problem and kind of tried to do a little bit like kind of mom test style interviews, customer discovery, and then took some of those clips and put it into the podcast / YouTube video as well. And then afterwards talked about whether I still think it's a good idea or not. Maybe that would be cool content.
I think that sounds cool. Definitely you should do it. That's content. Get on it. No more gear.
Get on it.
More interviews. Yeah. I've stumbled over a dude who lives in New York, I think, a Brit maybe. Anyway, he's like does the whole I'm starting a startup thing on YouTube, and it's just like walking around the city, buying
Drinking
coffee, talking about yesterday I did this thing, and it's like I didn't find it interesting, but it is interesting. He has like a bunch of views.
Entreporn.
Yeah. I think maybe it's overheating my camera. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a pretty hot conversation.
Yeah, that's it. I had
Me
to
and
take
my
off
running
my
gear
shirt
and-
as well.
With all these good ideas and stuff.
Yeah, it was a good idea. It was the best idea. Yeah, okay.
Maybe this is just a podcast.
I think I should switch it from 4K to 1080p again. That might be it. All right, yeah, well, nice talking to you, Peter.
Yeah, likewise. See you next week.
Bye.